In 2023, when the nominees were announced for Spiel des Jahres, Germany's Game of the Year award, I was a bit let down because I did not really like any of the 3 games that were nominated. Just not for me. Instead, I made a video talking about my own nominees for Spiel des Jahres, the titles that I would have chosen if I had been on the jury. I am not, I have no say in anything, and of course those titles did not go on to win. But I made the video anyway because I wanted to talk about games that I liked and thought other people might like as well. 2024, I don't have that issue because all 3 nominees for Spiel des Jahres are solid, or at least they fit my taste. I'm normally in line with the Spiel des Jahres taste because I love playing games with a wide variety of people, with relatively simple rules that you can jump into quickly, that change a lot as you play them more with different people, so they accommodate a wide range of playing styles and players. I normally really like that, so cool. We have Sky Team from Luc Raymond and Scorpion Masqué. I've played once. I like the concept. I just haven't got it back to the table. It's a hazard sometimes with so many games coming in that I'm doing videos for and just talking about, and not having exactly one other person show up at game day, so Sky Team has not hit the table again. It's a review copy, by the way, as is. This copy of In the Footsteps of Darwin from Gregory Girard and Mathieu Verdier, and publisher Sorry We Are French. I've played 4 times, twice with 3 and twice with 4 people, and it's an excellent little design. It's very straightforward. You're building up your own little map of the animals that you've seen around the world as you are traveling in the Footsteps of Darwin, as the name says. Yeah, it works really well. It's a bit solitaire-ish, you know, that drafting thing where then you build up your own board and you don't have much interaction with other people. It's fine and pleasant. I find it more engaging than something like Cascadia, which has that same sort of format. Yeah, it's good. It's got some end goals. It's very Euro standard. So it's not exciting, but it's just a challenge that you try to do better at than everyone else as you sort of puzzle things out and try to maximize all your stuff. Simple rules, you can get into it quickly. Then we come to Captain Flip, a game by Paolo Mori and Remo Consadori. I just gotta look up his name. Consadori, sorry, Remo. And publisher Playpunk, a Belgian publisher that has this as its first release, which is kind of astounding, except that Playpunk is owned and run by Thomas Provost, one of the co-founders of Repo Production, and Antoine Bauza. So those guys know what they're doing. They have a long line of success. I got to play this once at the Spiel Essen 23 convention. Loved it. Did a write-up on it after I played it in October. Loved the second game that Playpunk is coming out with at the end of 2024. Talk more about that hopefully another time. Now I got a review copy from distributor Flat River Games that is bringing the game to the US. There's copies in languages all around the world. They know what they're doing because, again, also Playpunk is partnered with Asmodee, so they got a lot of distribution throughout Europe. And I've now played 4 more times, twice with 3 people, twice with 4. First game was with 3. And it's a fantastic design that I would recommend to pretty much anyone. It might not be your cup of tea. There's a small memory element. There's press your luck in here. There's the randomness of drawing things from a bag. It's very short, but it's a blast. And it works for the audience in question, partly because you can start playing in minutes. Let me show you. Each player in Captain Flip gets their own player board showing a pirate ship that you will populate with sailors over the course of the game. There are 4 different map designs, so you have some variety of play in terms of how the sailors go on board and the bonuses that you get when you fill a column. Your goal is to get the most money. On a turn, you are going to draw a tile from the bag, put it in front of you. You can't look at it, you just draw it, put it on the table. You're going to look at this and say, do I want to take this tile and put it at the bottom of one of my columns? It's a navigator. I get 2 coins for each cartographer on my ship. I have no cartographers. I'm not interested in this. So if you don't like what you have here, flip it over. It will be a different person on the back. Cartographer. Great. Now I have one in the future if I draw a navigator. When you place the cartographer, again, at the bottom of any column, go there. You take the treasure map. Normally this starts in the middle of the table. And at the end of the turn, if you have this, you get 1 coin from the bank. Everyone else is going to take their turn. My turn comes back around again. Another cartographer. Whoa, then I'll be looking for navigators again. Sure, let's do this. Get a coin. Unless someone has taken it from me, although I would have then taken it right back. Cartographer again. Let's try something else. Parrot. You must take the thing on the other side whether you want it or not. When you get the parrot, you get the immediate bonus of drawing another tile, and at the end of the game, you lose a coin. So, for good or bad, that's what's going to happen. A cook. When you place the cook in the line, you get 1 coin for each pirate that is in that row. Pirate or parrot, mind you. Either one is good. Let's put this here. Let's get 3 money. 3 plus 1, assuming I still have this at the end of my turn. You may notice all of this is fairly solitaire-ish. The cartographer is the only thing that I'm doing that is going to affect other people. Normally, I'm not a huge fan of solitaire-ish stuff in games, but in this case, the game flows quickly. There's lots of ups and downs. There's lots of surprises. Do I want the monkey? When you place the monkey, you get a coin and you flip an adjacent tile. So I could flip this back now, get a cartographer. If someone had taken that from me, the cartographer's power would activate when I flip it over and I would get the map back. So I get a coin for the monkey, coin for the map. There we go. 8 money, not much. Another monkey. So if I put the monkey here, it would actually flip the monkey and I get whatever is on the other side. I don't know what it is because I didn't see that. I know this is a parrot. I know that's a navigator. I know that's the cook. And actually, I should have put this right here. Oh, wasn't planning ahead. If I had planned ahead and I put this here, we would flip this. I get a navigator. I get 2 coins per cartographer, plus 1 for the monkey, plus 1 for the map, and that's 6 coins. If I back up and pretend I placed the cook there, which I should have because I've played this game already. I know what it's like. Get a parrot or this guy. What is he? The lookout. If at the end of the game he has no one above him in one of these columns, you get 4 coins. Well, let's put him at the top of this one because I get 3 coins when I fill it up. I would get 1 if I still have the map. I don't get the 4 now because potentially that goes away. If I'm forced to place a monkey here, that tile will flip over. There's nothing that's going to remove that tile. Once you put a tile in, it stays there. Cartographer again, or another cook. Sure. Let's get 3. Let's get 4. I'm not going to worry about the money at this point. Another lookout that would not be at the top. So, a swabby. The swabbies, you get points based on how many columns you have swabbies in. So 1, 4, 9, 16, 25. I already have 2 filled columns, so I'm not going to get much with swabbies, but I already flipped it. So there we go. What else do we have? Cartographer. Let's see some other things. Yes, we've almost seen everything here. This guy, the carpenter, is worth 3 coins at the end of the game if it's not in the same row or column as the gunner. We've not seen a gunner yet. Let's put that here and see what happens. Can I get a gunner? I can get a swabby. I can put that there. I would get the treasure map if someone else had taken it away. Gunner. I'm going to have to... Normally I put that there and get 4 coins. But gunner? No. I get a parrot. The game ends the round that someone fills 4 columns. So if I put this here, that would be my 4th column. We would continue play until everyone has had the same number of turns. Whoever takes the pirate flag ship at the beginning of the game, they're the first player. You go till the player to their right has had a turn. So I can put this here and end the game. Or I can put it here and the game will continue if I don't think I have the most coins and the most in-game bonuses. Or I can flip it and I get a monkey. Let's put that there. Flip it. Cook for 4 coins. All right. And let's just show you the gunner because I want to make sure you see everything. Otherwise, you have learned everything as I played the game. You can teach this game in roughly 1 minute and get playing immediately and teach as you go. You do not need to know all 9 of these characters before you start playing. You can learn them as you play because it's not important that you know what choices you have available to you with every tile that you draw. Right? You're only going to have 2 sides on that tile. Do I want this gunner? You get 5 coins immediately when you place them, but if you have 3 or more gunners on your ship at the end of the game, you die. Your ship sinks, they're too reckless, too many gunners, but I can put this here and get 5 coins and get 5 more for topping that column. And then at game's end, you look and see what gray squares you have here. Okay, I get 4 for that, plus 3, plus 4, that's 11. I don't die because I have only 1. There you go. I get 11 more coins and then see who has the most coins. After that solitaire run through of Captain Flip, I am confident that you know all the rules, that you know what all the characters do, and that you could teach someone else to play in just a couple of minutes. The game is incredibly straightforward. It will take you a little while to get going when you open the box because there's a lot of tiles to punch and coins to punch, and you want to make the coins look their best. There's holes in the middle of all of them, all different shapes, so you know what the denominations are, and they look cool, but there's a lot of little tiny cardboard bits to punch out. But what's weird is that solitaire run through, it's not interesting. It's just a beat your high score type thing. There are no solitaire rules in Captain Flip. You could make them just by doing what I said, beat your high score, but that's not where the joy of Captain Flip comes from. It comes from the interaction with other players and experiencing the game with them. And it's funny because the gameplay is fairly solitaire-ish. As I mentioned, you're not interacting with other people in building your ship other than taking the cartographer's map. Otherwise, what I put on my ship does not affect you at all, at least on that A board. When you get the B board, you've got bonuses. Whoever reaches the top of a column gets the leftmost bonus, and everyone else will get the rightmost bonus. So here, you don't get anything when you go here. But maybe you've got a cook and you're going to get 5 points from going across here, or you just want to close that 4th column and end the game. Right? There's some other bonuses on the other tiles. But again, you're not racing for anything. You are taking the map from someone, so don't fill that if you already have the map. Here you get 6 coins if all the same characters are in this column. You get 4 coins if they're all different. You get 1 coin for each different character. You get 2 coins per completed column. Here you lose a coin. Bah! But you can end the game by doing that. And again, you got that cook option, and maybe you've got the perfect place to put the monkey that you want to go, or whatever it is. So it's very solitary experience, but playing it is not, because you have the joy of people pulling out tiles and debating, like, oh, I got 2 coins now. Do I want something else? And then you flip it over and you see what they get. And maybe it's great for them. And you're like, ah. Or it's terrible. And you're like, yes. It's this little joys and frustrations throughout the game where you got this little emotional experience, which, again, I can't talk about SkyTeam because I played it once way back at the end of 2022 on a demo version. In the Footsteps of Darwin is good, but it's a very stay-at experience because you're drafting tiles, you're putting them on the board. There's sort of this escalation over time where you're going to have in-game bonuses, and you get the tiles that work with the in-game bonus, and they give you points on their own. Cool. That's sort of escalating over time, but you're drafting tiles from a face-up display, so it's not like this little burst of excitement as you're pulling something out of the bag. It's always fun. There's lots of games like that where it's just, you get this surprise element, and what do you see? It's sort of press your luck, because if you don't like what's on the first side, you know you're getting something different on the other side. There's an even number of characters throughout all the tiles. There are 2 of each, I believe, of each combination. So you'd have, cook, swabby, cook, lookout, etc. You have each of those twice. But you're probably not tracking what everyone has and what the odds are of you getting a particular character, because there's just so much going on, and you're probably not going to remember what's under everyone else's board. You don't have to. It doesn't affect you. Which may seem weird, because I often talk about games where I want them to be highly interactive and my choices affect you and we're all sort of entangled together. But here it's more like an emotional entanglement where we're each trying to get the highest score. I see what you're doing. I'm betting that you're going to do the wrong thing. I'm thinking about what I'm going to do if I were you with that tile and do this thing. So you're sort of playing everyone else's board at the same time you're playing your own. And so I feel invested in it. I think it's a fantastic little design. I mean, it's good. It's very good. By the way, these are the designers of the game Fairy Tale Inn. I did a video on that several years ago, I believe. I think. I hope so. Otherwise, I'm just going to point to a link to the game on BGG, where it sort of had a similar feel, where you had multiple fairy tale characters that would have special powers, but it was just a two-player game, and you dropped them in a Connect 4 style grid with the tiles facing you, and you drop them, and you're trying to set up combinations and reach certain levels and so on. So it had this building up experience, which is the same as what you have here, where you start at the bottom of the columns, although not every bottom is at the bottom of the board, and then build up and try to get these combos together. And I find it way more entertaining than Fairy Tale Inn. That was only a two-player game, and so you were again drafting from a face-up row, as in the Footsteps of Darwin. And so when I was making my choice for the turn, I kind of knew what you could do as well, and so I'm making a choice playing off that, and it's a little more thinking involved. And here you're just gambling. Not gambling, but you are gambling with what's going to come up. Trying to figure out what's going on. There's a little memory element as well, because the monkey comes into play. What's under those tiles? And you can play without trying to remember that, and then it's kind of like flipping the tile the first time. Often you don't even see the other side of the tile. You don't know what's there. So it's just a little surprise as you turn it over. I love it. It's really good. What's funny is in my fourth and fifth games, we had 3 players. One player really prefers more involved games, and they did not seem that interested. We finished the game, and I won. And I'm like, yeah, see? Experience counts. And we played again. Okay. They had a better time. We played a different board, had different bonuses on there. And of course, now you have some sense of the characters that are coming, the odds you're going to play, you do all this. But I won again. So clearly, experience matters. It's a game of skill. As much luck as there is, as much randomness. Clearly, it's a game of skill, right? Because I won those 2 times. I played more than anyone else. That's what I'm saying anyway. I think there is something there. You can play better. Antoine Bauza, I played a demo. The first game was with him and Thomas Provost, and Antoine he almost, if you combined my score with Thomas, I think Antoine was around that level. So he was good. He knew what he was doing, or he was playing the odds, or everything just lucked out in his favor. Whatever it is, it was a fun experience, as it has been all the times that I've played so far. And this is a game that I could teach people who don't play lots of games. But again, you get going in a minute, you're already playing, you learn as you go, and then ideally you play it again once you know what you're doing. Once they know what they're doing. It's great. This is my choice for Spiel des Jahres 2024. The other games are decent, but this is the one that I would want to introduce to other people. It's the one I will introduce to other people. So hope you get to try it as well.